to day 5, and today we're gonna get that full body work in, our strength, but we're gonna be focusing on shoulder and core. Now with this, everything I'm gonna go through here for part A, there's gonna be 2 versions of it. So there's the Scout version and the RX version. So this is really gonna be based on where you are. So there's gonna be the elevated pike version, and there's gonna be the true handstand push-up version. And we will demonstrate both of those, all right? So you're just gonna pick the one based on where you are, but the rep range will be the same for all of us, and don't worry, each week as we go, this will progressively get harder. So it will still continue to meet you where you are. So with that said, we're going to do 3 sets like we have been for part A. So what we're going to be doing is 5-second hold of the elevated pikes or a handstand push-up on the wall. Then we're gonna go right into 5 strict handstand push-ups or elevated pike push-ups. Once again, we will demonstrate these. After you get done that, I want you to come off the wall, shake it out, and you're gonna take about 30 seconds of rest. Then you're gonna get right back up, and you're gonna do 5 elevated pike shoulder taps or 5 handstand push-up shoulder taps. And then you're gonna go right into 5 strict elevated pike push-ups or 5 strict handstand push-ups. So we will demonstrate all of these, but you will do that, and then once you get done, rest again for 30 seconds. So that grouping, those 4 movements together with the holds, the handstand push-ups, rest, shoulder taps, handstand push-ups. That's 1 set. You will do that 3 times. You'll take about 30 seconds in between each. Now the thing I want you to do is if each set goes on, you can take a little more rest, but let's max out at our rest at about a minute. Do not take more than a minute rest in between the rest stations or in between the couplets that we're doing here. So before we get into it, I just want to make sure that you guys know that this video is going to be safe, everything's going to be okay. One of the videos we put out, we got yelled at by one of our close friends and members of the gym. He thought it was unacceptable that we were wearing footwear inside of the house. So I just want everyone to know that we're safe this time. We're not breaking any rules. Janet is wearing the Eugene custom porno Hugh Hefner slipper. So everything is all on the up and up this time. We won't be breaking any rules, all right? Now let's get into the workout. All right, guys, first we're gonna show here the Scout version of the movement. So this is the elevated pike push-up. As you can see here, she's trying to get her hips over top of her shoulders as much as possible. And she's gonna come straight down, top of the head. So after she does her 5-second hold, she will get some reps here, 5 reps. And when she's completed this, she will come down for a 30-second rest. She will get back up for part 2 of this now, and she will do her elevated pike shoulder taps. So by doing both sides, that's 1 rep. So if you just want to count to 10, that might be easier. And then she will go right into her 5 elevated pike push-ups again after she completes her shoulder taps. When you were done that, you were done 1 set. Kicking up for the RX version, which is the handstand version. So she will do the handstand push-up hold, then she will go into her handstand push-ups. And after completing 5 strict handstand push-ups, she will come down for that 30-second rest. Janet is walking up the wall, because most likely you will have to face the wall to do your shoulder taps. Janet is pretty sufficient at doing these. So we do our 10 total shoulder taps, or 5 total, but each side counting as 1. Then she would walk back out when she completes that. She will spin around into her typical handstand position, kick up, and do her 5 strict handstand push-ups. Alright guys, so these movements are obviously pretty tough, and I really want you to pick the one that's most appropriate for you. If you struggle getting your hips or you struggle with mobility, just do the best you can so we can come from that elevated plane. So we're just not doing a typical push-up, we're coming from that higher angle there. So try and get your hips as much as you can over top of your shoulders when we're doing the elevated pike push-up. And if you're doing the real handstand push-ups, just remember, we want to try and have a tight core. We want to be a straight line all the way up to the wall. We want to be tight. We don't want to be sagging. We don't want to be breaking at the hip. Try to practice those things that we talk about inside of the gym, okay? And after each couplet, you're taking that 30 to 1 minute rest, 30 seconds to 1 minute about after each couplet, but keep it moving, because by keeping it high tempo, that's what's really going to give us that pump and that burn. But the holds and kind of constantly having ourselves under tension is what's giving us that progressive overload. Okay guys, now we're on part B. So this is a little bit of the complementary work, our secondary work that we're doing for our shoulder and core day. So what we're going to be doing is 10 pike push-ups. So it's a little different than the elevated pike push-ups. So obviously, as you can imagine, the elevated, if you did a Scout version, our feet were up on a bench or up on a chair. For the pike push-ups, we're just going to kind of lift our butt, and we will demonstrate that. So we'll do 10 pike push-ups, and then we're going to do 20 crossover mountain climbers. We've done these last week. And then we're going to do 20 shoulder sheet face pulls. And we're going to explain all of these. And through these sets, as you go through, just move at the pace that you can. So if you can move more up tempo, faster, then by all means do it. If you need a rest after each set, then take the rest you need to be able to do each of these movements properly. Setting up for these pike push-ups. So like I said, these are different now. So she's bent at the knees and she's bent at the hip, and she's kind of almost going to think of rocking your butt forward. So she comes forward, she's going to come down and then drive the butt back as she's moving on that plane, kind of sliding forward and then driving back. So what this is really mimicking, if you remember me earlier in the week talking about how we're going to hit the upper chest, well, this is mimicking your incline bench press, and it's really going to hit the front delts and the top center portion of that chest. So this is balancing out our chest work from earlier in the week. She's going to go right into the 20 crossover mountain climbers. This is where we're getting that core work. We're also getting a little bit of work in the shoulders by stabilizing our core here, stabilizing our body. So you're bringing that knee all the way across to the other elbow. If you can't reach the other elbow, just do the best you can so we really get that crunch. And like I said, we're stabilizing, get a lot of shoulder work by holding the body here in this plank position throughout 20 reps. It's a lot. We're going to do a sheet face pull. So this is a really popular movement in a lot of gyms, and now we're going to take advantage of this for our home workout. So we're going to put the sheet back into our door again, and make sure you tie a knot, make sure you pull all the slack out of it. And the most important part here is Janet's going to go and grip up the sheet. You're going to try and grab as wide on the sheet as you can, the outside, and just bunch it up a little bit. As you can see, her hands are kind of upside down as she starts. She's going to turn them as she sets up to actually get ready to go. And then what she's trying to do is she's trying to drive those thumbs back as she comes back. See how those arms are up high, the elbows are high, and the sheet is going right into like the middle of her face. So she's almost making a straight line with that sheet, but the thumbs go back, if you notice that. So she's doing that sheet pull right in, just using her body weight. Now we're going to do 20 reps. These is a lot. If you need to scale that down, that's fine. But I really need you to focus on your hand position here if you want to do this the right way, so we externally rotate. We do not want to rotate the wrong way or grab from underneath or do this the wrong way, or we could be pinching and hurting the shoulder. So make sure you drive that thumb back. And if you notice, her elbows are up, out, and wide as she comes to the top of the movement, okay, for this face pull. It's a great movement, and it will be awesome to complement our training for our shoulder day here. All right, guys, now we are to part C, and we're getting into some of our assistance lifts. We're going to get that pump. We're going to do that typical CrossFit style mini WOD. So it's going to be a 7-minute AMRAP. So you're doing as many rounds as possible in 7 minutes. So we're going to start with 10 leg raises, 20 plank twists, 30 flutter kicks, and then 20 backpack upright rows. So we will finally need some equipment, but it's just going to be our backpack that we've been using the other day. Load it up as much as you want. Let's demo each of these movements. It's demonstrating the leg raises. So you're just bringing the legs down and popping your butt off the ground. As you rest back on your shoulders, drive up. If you need to, you could put your arms up and hold on to something. Jenna is getting into her low plank position. So we're on our forearms or our elbows. Once again, this is going to burn out the shoulders, and we're going to do the plank twist. So here you can see Janet is kind of targeting her hip to touch the ground and just rotating. And this way we're getting a little bit more work into our obliques, getting a little of that side core work. But once again, it is going to burn the shoulders a little bit here because you are stabilizing the body throughout the whole movement. Then we will grab our backpack and we're going into our upright rows. So just keeping those elbows high and tight, pull above the shoulder. Now you can grab the straps wide, or you can grab the strap on top, whatever you're most comfortable with. But just pulling that up, you're definitely going to get a burn in the shoulders from this. After doing 20 reps. When you complete this movement, you are done one full round. And like I said, you were trying to do as many rounds as possible in your 7 minutes. So after completing this, you will go back to your leg raises. Okay guys, so we are done all of the strength portion of our workout, and now it's time to move on to our WOD. And today we're actually going to give you a little bit of control over what you're doing. So I recommend that you do a death by 10 meters. So that is, you'll run 10 meters, and then you rest until the beginning of the next minute. At the beginning of the next minute, you do 10 meters down, 10 meters back. So you did 2. At the beginning of minute 3, you do 3, down, back, down, right? And you continue to add 1 set or 1 rep each minute that goes by. And obviously, once you get to minute 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it starts to get hard, and you hang in there as long as you can. It's kind of like a survivor workout. We've done this style workout a lot at our gym. But the part that you get control of is we have done more running than usual this week, and I understand that you may be sore, you may feel beat up, you may not want to run again. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to pick what you want to do a death by. So if you don't want to do a death by 10 meters, then you can do a death by anything. So 1 rep in minute 1, 2 reps in minute 2, 3 reps in minute 3, 4 reps in minute 4, and so on, and you hang in there as long as you can. And when you can no longer complete the reps within the minute, then you're done, you tapped out. So death by of your choice today. Have fun with it, and I can't wait to give you tomorrow's CrossFit WOD. I'll see you then.